Renovation best practices. I'm going to give you some go-bys so that since you're probably not in the construction business, that these will come in handy for you to know and remember. Easy stuff, okay? What sells homes? Kitchens and bathrooms. You're going to put the majority of your budget into those areas because that's where it's going to pay off. So you want those. Just think when you walk new construction home builder, he has a model home. First thing you do is go straight to the kitchen and then you go straight into the bedrooms where the bathrooms are. So those are your high dollar areas that bring in more cash than anything else. Okay. For renovation purposes, a lot of higher end homes use what's called a 3 cm, that's a centimeter, 3 cm countertop. Those cost thousands of dollars. If you will use a 2 cm countertop, it's about 50% of the price, maybe even a little more less than what a 3 cm slab would cost you. So, if possible, when you buy granite or countertops, I'm telling you these things because most of you are not in the construction business that are listening to this. So, what sells homes, kitchens, and bathrooms? The majority of that, your money needs to be put in those areas because you're buying public. When you go to a new home construction house, new home builder, he's got a model home. What's the first thing you walk into that everybody goes, "Wow, kitchen?" Next thing you go to is a master bedroom, and there's the bath. That's the next thing that you check because a bedroom's a bedroom, okay? No big deal. The bath is what makes all the difference. Same thing for the clients that are going to be buying your home. So let me give you a few things that'll cost you less money. When you go to buy your countertops, because you're probably going to refinish countertops in every house that you renovate, you're going to, instead of use what's called 3 cm, which is about this size in centimeters, that's a cm, for your granite or your quartz, use a 2 cm, and it costs at least 50% less of what your 3 cm granite costs. That's a huge difference because granite runs thousands of dollars. Um, Typically, I'll end up spending on a higher end house $7,000 to $9,000 on granite, depending on how much I have to put down. But on a smaller house that has a much smaller countertop surface area and 2 cm, I would cut that in 2/3. So instead of spending 9,000, maybe I'm only spending 3,000. It's going to vary per house, but that's the difference that it can make. The other thing I do is I buy remnants instead of what's called a full slab. Granite comes out of the manufacturer in a full, huge slab. That slab, number one, is hard to be able to get from place to place. So they charge you pretty good dollar figure to be able to transport it. And it just costs more money because it's one big slab. If I buy it in remnants, because I know my measurements, I can go in and maybe I only need a 5 foot section for a kitchen cabinet or six. And because remnants are usually much smaller, your your slab comes out and it's about 12 to 15 feet by usually 6 feet tall. Well, look how many countertops, kitchen or bath, are 24 inches deep. So now they're in 2 feet segments. Look how many 2 feet segments I can get out of a 6 foot tall. Big difference. So now I can do probably out of a slab or that's been turned into a remnant because they've used it in another place and they have drop off, which is called leftover. That's a remnant. So now I could probably do two things that are going to be in my bathrooms that are remnants. And then I can pick a different thing for the kitchen because they don't have to match, just have to be coordinated. And then have that in my kitchen. So it's much smarter to work off of remnants and buy 2 cm when it comes to countertops. It's one of the largest or most expensive things you can put in the house. Um, you're going to paint your cabinets instead of replacing cabinets. I don't know if you've priced cabinets lately, but just doing my master bath, okay? Just my master bath ran me almost $5,000 for brand new craft made cabinets. That was just this past year. So you would much rather In my guest bath, I'm like, yeah, I'm not paying that much money for my guest bath. I had my husband paint the cabinet a really nice, pretty navy blue, and it went really well with a brand new countertop. So you're going to paint your cabinets instead of replacing them. Then, and there's plenty of guys that know how to sand them down and paint them. I teach you how to do that so that you don't get paint all over the knobs and handles, and especially all of your screws and everything else that connects. Hinges, especially. I hate painted hinges. Drop-in sinks are back in style. They're cheaper, easier to work with, and take less time for your granite or quartz fabricator. And here's why. Saves you a day. And remember, we're working on a 60-day clock. Saves you a day when they don't have to take that over to their shop. And then you've got travel time. Then you've got to have cutting time for that under-counter mount sink. You got travel time to come back, and then I can place everything. If I have a drop-in, I can give him the measurements for the drop-in or the template that comes with the sink, and he can cut it at his shop before he ever comes out. He makes one trip, brings it out, places it, and my plumber sets the sink for me. Deal. Easy done. Easy peasy. You're in and out. Saves me at least a day that I'm working. Paint wood paneling. You're going to run into all of these older houses that have wood paneling everywhere. Ripping it off is a hard thing to do, number one. Number two, it's expensive because now when I rip that stuff off, I have to re-sheet rock, I have to tape bed and texture and paint. Why did I do all of that when all I had to do was just paint the paneling? I'm going to show you some pictures. You'll see the difference. They don't look bad. They look wonderful, in fact. Brick fireplaces. If you have a house that's older than 2010, you have probably got a brick fireplace in that house, and it's the same as your outdoor brick. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like my outdoor brick inside my house. So we're going to paint the brick so that you don't have to look at your outdoor brick on the inside of the house. It also is not what's done now. It's not a trend, and it makes things look dated. So you don't want to do that. Wood laminate instead of carpet. I'm also going to use wood laminate instead of real wood. And why? Because real wood obviously it costs more. But secondly, it has a lot more that process that you have to do to put it down. I can get a wood laminate floor down in an entire house in a day. But a wood floor, I'm going to have a trim guy that can come out and cut the wood because it all has to be placed accordingly to where each nook and cranny is. And then it takes him usually 3 or 4 days to do all of that. Then I have to sand it down. Then I have to then finish it. And then I have to put a stain on it. Now look at all the different processes I had to go through. More than likely, your wood floor is going to take you 10 days to 14 days, whereas I can get wood laminate down in a day. Which one do you think goes well with fixing and flipping a house? The one-day guy, okay? When you're doing colors, I don't want to hear, I don't know how to decorate. I don't know how to pick colors. I don't care. It has nothing to do with you. All you have to do is go down to Sherwin-Williams or whoever you choose to set your business or your builder account up with, and they will pick out all your color palette for you. So you know exactly what colors you're going to work with. You don't even have to buy your paint there. You can take it to Home Depot or wherever you can get your paint at a less expensive price, and they did all the work for you. So you just say, I want whatever is most trendy today, and they can put that together for you in about 15 minutes. So it works really well. Just remember that buyers want fresh, modern, clean. Okay? Work off of those three when you're decorating. Fresh, modern, clean.